Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an impromptu video from New Milton in Hampshire. We've had some glorious days. Some may argue unusually even glorious for this time of year, or the extent of it at least, right? And before I continue, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're all doing fine. I hope you're all approaching the weekend in fine fettle. I am, thank you very much. And thanks for asking. Yeah, so all last few weeks to be honest, we've had warm days, hot days, and it's been continuous, right? So there's been no few days in between with some rain and anything like that. And then a couple of nights ago, we started having cloud cover, and I remember going out just for a little walk, couldn't sleep, and we had it looked like almost a full moon. And you could see they were already doing this. I say they because I don't know them by name, but somebody sits in the cockpit of these aeroplanes when they fly around doing this to us, right? And it does change the course of the weather. It is as simple as that. It's not a figment of anybody's imagination. In fact, if you look at some Royal Air Force documents, you can go back decades and you can look up things like cloud seeding. In fact, it's in children's books about aeroplanes and aerodynamics and aviation in general. And they talk about cloud seeding and how absolutely the technology is not even a complicated one to go to a certain height and create rain clouds that then release rain at a certain moment, at any given moment that you like. That tech is absolutely available, right? It's not a problem. Been doing it for decades. The military have been using that sort of technique for a long time, right? Also, this sort of technique, using waves of whatever, radio waves, goodness knows what. One thing we can definitely remind ourselves of is that the new tech that's being rolled out as we speak, which explains all the roadworks everywhere, and no matter what country you go to, I'm getting feeds through from Germany, France, Belgium and all sorts, roadworks, new bridges, new infrastructure in city centres, different cameras being attached on the tops, night vision cameras now being attached to the facial recognition cameras, and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff, right? What was I going to say? Yeah, that is absolutely what is going on at the moment. Right, that there seems to be a changeover within the technological setup that we have right now going on, yeah? And if you can manipulate the weather to that degree that it stays hot for weeks and weeks on end, and then you have the audacity to then call out a drought, which they did yesterday officially here in the UK, when you know, A, you're a freaking island surrounded by ocean, and B, you absolutely have the technology at your disposal at any given moment to shut this nonsense down and do something for the benefit of the people if you wanted to. But of course, that's not what we see, is it? That's not what we're experiencing. We're not experiencing actions of whoever's in charge that benefit us. We get told it benefits us, but that's all under the guise of a lie. Like they're spraying the clouds, apparently, allegedly, we're told, to protect us from the sun because it's getting too hot. Well, no. You're getting it the wrong way around. It's getting too hot, etc., because of the stuff they're spraying in the sky and the other manipulation. Remember, and this is the point I was going to make earlier, we are now in milliwave technology. Milliwave technology. Look that up, what that means. It's microwave tech, right? I'm not even kidding. So go and look that up, and don't take my word for it. The equipment that is going to be activated and used very soon. Very soon. Right? Be under no illusion that there isn't something about to start when it comes to that. A rollout of some sort. And like I've been saying for ages now, an amalgamation for much of the population with the tech that's going to be rolled out or activated. And the amalgamation will involve those who, fell foul to the lies and deceit of those who pretend to care for us. No one's fault but those that were perpetrating those lies over years, right? But this here is mental. And just to prove my point, there you go. You can even fly without spewing shit out of the back. It's quite incredible. I wanted to bring that to you because, to be honest with you, you know, when you're in an area like where I am at the moment, where yes, it's all very well organised and it has a system to it. You have families, for example, called commoners that look after over 5,000 horses and ponies and stuff that run around the New Forest. There's a system to it. It's very well run, very well organised and everything, right? It's the closest you're going to sort of get to sort of nature, if you like, until you look up to the sky and then you see this stuff, right? I won't say it boils my blood because one day it physically might well do. But this is a continuum. It's going to continue. The distractions, we're running out of water. I've said this before. Honestly, why millions of people aren't on the street with an outline of an island, colouring the rest of it around the island blue with a big arrow saying water in big yellow capitals, I don't know. I mean, if we can get oil through thousands of miles of pipeline, then surely we can get water to... What's the furthest place in the UK away from the coast? I think it's 78 miles is the furthest you can possibly be from any coast in England or the UK in general. So you'd only have to, let's be really generous. If we can come up with 100 miles of pipeline times maybe 100, you know, dotted all around the coast, through salination, desalination plants, and Bob's your uncle. You've got a huge one in London, by the way. Yeah. So I'm talking about droughts while I'm showing you them literally pumping the sky full with tech of sorts. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that to you because I thought it was quite interesting considering the days that we have had, the stark contrast. The winds are now picking up as well, which also happens after this sort of stuff happens here. This guy, literally 5 minutes ago, because I've just come with Sandra to get a few bits, right, in New Milton, where I said we are, because we live not far away from here in our apartment, the holiday apartment. The sky was clear 5 or 10 minutes ago. And we come out the shop, she's like, well, look at this. This come from literally nowhere. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Anyway, there we go. I thought I would just bring that to you because I think it's important to keep mentioning it, and I think it's important that people keep noticing it. You know, like I said, this, what we're going through at the moment, and you know, pay attention to the plethora of distractions. The Football World Cup is over now, and by the way, not everyone's interested in football anyway, but there's plenty of other distractions going on, isn't there? Loads and loads and loads. You know, in the UK, we've got this stupid nonsense with new prime ministers and all that, and what he's going to do. Of course, he's not. And then you've got the Epstein files, which is something that gets lots of basement dwellers occupied for the years to come, right? So that will lead that lot down a nice, merry lane. And meanwhile, they can crack on with the shit that really matters, which is this stuff here that's going to be accompanying you. Because you're going to be breathing this in. It's going to be in you, in your system, in your blood, if it isn't already, thanks to the last 6 years, right? And it will be you will become part of a greater network that will be activated at some point. That is not fantasy, right? It's something that a lot of people have been talking about for a lot of years. But like I always keep saying, we don't own the airwaves, so you don't get to hear the many, many, many people who totally agree with me, and many, many people who I've learned from and who I've looked at and thought, yeah, I'm going to look into that deeper, and something seems to ring true there, or not true, depending on what you're looking at and how you're looking at it, right? But yeah, anyway, there we go. So from a lovely, it has to be said though, south of Hampshire, a couple of miles off the coast, That was it. I just wanted to bring you that, and hope you all have a lovely, lovely weekend. And I hope you enjoy the weather to its max. And yeah, don't forget to hydrate, eh? You know, it's a drought. Don't forget. You know, don't mention we're on an island. Okie dokie. On that note, thank you for listening in. I will see you all soon. Some of you much, much sooner. But until then, take it all easy, and ta-ta for now.